Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Data Visualization Stack. So, today we are going to talk about the time series. So, if your data has a timestamp, you are a time series analyst. Like, if your data contains the time series, either it's a month, year, date, and time. So, this means this is the time series data set. Welcome to week 18, lecture 1, Introduction to Time Series, Coding Dojo. Agenda. Today we will talk about the announcements and assignments. Heads up, using Colab, there is a one update which I will share with you. What is a time series? Regular interval versus its events. Working with the time series in the Python and code along. In this, we will cover up preparing time series and visualizing the time series. If you get stuck anywhere in the code or in the assignment or part of any content on LP, please reach out at this channel, Discord channel. And your assignment feedback documents have been already updated. Who has submitted the assignments? Who are left with the assignment submission, please do that by tonight or by early tomorrow morning as soon as possible. Assignments. Your required core assignments on stack schedule are already there. Today we are going to cover up resampling daytime data exercise and also preparing time series from wide form data. And core project 4 part 1, this we will cover in the next class. This assignment will take longer time than the first two core assignments in this. And with today's lesson, first we will talk about today your Colab. So for the default, if the default package is included. As of beginning of January 2023, Colab updated the Python version to 3.8. So which will allow us force install the same package version as in our Dojo environment. So these are the packages which you have updated in the Dojo, which is already updated on the Dojo environment. But in case you want to use a Google Colab at any time, what you need to do, you will go to the Google Colab here. I will share this link with all of you as well. This is one link I'm sharing in the chat. This Colab notebook contains all the default updated packages. How you can add it as a custom functions or module in your Google Colab, so you don't need to add it again and again while you are using the Google Colab work. If you either you can make a new notebook, or if you are using any notebook, you just click on that and then you need to go here, settings, then paste the link which I have shared in the chat. I have already added it. So even I can show you, you can add it like this way. And then just click on the save button. When you will click on the save button, after that, you will go here, code snippets. So when you will go here, code snippets, you can search here, this one, like this, data viz. So it will show you this packages. This is showing here database updated Colab packages. You can click on that, right? And then you just insert it. Right on the right side, there is a button insert. When you click on the insert, you don't need to write it again and again. It will automatically insert these all packages in your Google Colab. You don't need to repeat this step again and again. You need to do it only one time here. Any questions about it? Does it make sense? All right. So this is the update about the Google Colab. Now we will jump on to the today's lesson. So what is a time series? When we say it's a time series data, this means your data set contains one column which contains the time, month, year, and date. So this is called time series. There are different ways like you may get the data. If you look at these pictures here. So the first picture, this graph is showing sales of a new one family houses. So this is showing the sales of new one family houses in the US. You can see on the x-axis there is a year 1975 to 1995. So this is showing the each year's the number of the sales of new family one family houses. So this is coming in the millions. If you look at these, this is showing the trend as well. This is in here it is up, going down, going up, going like this way. So this is showing the different like the trends year wise, up and down. So this is the nature of the time series. And now if we jump onto the right side, this is US Treasury bill contracts. So on the x-axis, it is showing the number of days. Here you can see 0, it started from here. This is first day, second day up to 20th day. So this is showing the number of bill contracts here. If this is increasing, this trend is going down. As the number of days increasing, the trend is going down. So this is just giving you the rough idea how like based on the time series, bill contracts are like working. If you look at this Australian quarterly electricity production. So on the x-axis, it is showing the years again, annual, from 1960 to 2010. So it is showing how many billion kilowatt the electricity production is done in each year. If we look at this graph, we can clearly see how based on every year it is increasing. This is like in this form. This is the one trend. And then if you look at this fourth picture, it is showing Google daily changes in closing stock price. So when on the x-axis, it is showing the daily trend, daily data. So we are talking about the each data, each day. So this is a change in price. You can see this is how the trend is going up and down on each day. So these were the different time series trends. So these all are belong to time series data. We can display it based on year, days, even on the minutes as well, hours, monthly, quarterly. So you have a lot of options. Can you think some other examples of the time series data apart from this? If you can connect it maybe into your daily life or maybe any other real-time data, real-time example, which shows the time series.
I was gonna say maybe like solar panels on houses over the years.
Yes. Good, Scotty. Anyone else?
COVID cases over different months of the year.
Yes. Great, Emma. Yes. So apart from this, we have a weather example. This is a very good example of time series, right? So these all are based on the time series. Okay. So now we were talking about the definition of the time series, how we can define it, right? Now we will talk about the types of time series. There are mainly we are talking about today the metric, that is a regular time series, and events we call it irregular time series as well. Now when we talk about when we say regular, this means measurements gathered at a regular time intervals. So what is that? If you look at this picture, so these are your data points. You can see it's a 1, 2. These all are at a regular interval time, right? There is a no gap. So it is happening based on regular interval. Here it's come up, then again down, but here is a equal interval gap. If you look at all between the dots. So this is called the regular time series type. And if you look at this picture, the below, you can see here, this is the one starting point is here, then there is a huge gap, again, then there is a small gap, and then again, huge gap. So this is occurring based on the events. Whenever something is happening, then it is showing that trend. So this is the event type. So this is the difference between regular and irregular or matrix or events. What questions do you have about the types of time series? Can anyone give me any example about the events time? Okay, think about it. Okay, so there is a one question for all of you. Events or regular intervals. So what do you think if you look at this table? Is this regular or event type time series? Right. Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Anyone?
Yeah, regular.
Yes, Daniel, great answer. This is regular, right? If all of you look at this, the date time column here, it is showing 2018, 1st January. This is, sorry, 1st of January. This is 2nd day, right? At this time. And the same day, it is showing at different time. So this is happening on the same day at each interval, right? Regular. So this is called regular interval. And this is the data set of S&P 500 index stock price. So we are taking the data set from there. Now this is the second question. Again, look at this data set. Can anybody tell me, is this an event type or regular type?
Events?
Yes, Emma. Right. It's an event type. So why this is called event type? Can anybody answer?
I mean the dates are a lot more spread apart.
Yes, because there is a like the jump between the year and the dates. If you look at these, this is showing 1949, right? And here it is the same, but here there is a huge difference between 1949 and 1955. It is not showing after 1949, 1950 or anything else, right? So there is a jump between the years. So this is the event type. So when something is occurring in this year, then it is showing you the data. This is the event type. Good job. Now this is answer of your previous discussion. Okay, one more question. Look at this. What type of series is this? Sorry, data. Here, this date and time is not a single column. This is coming in the different columns. This is not coming row wise. It's coming here column wise. This is a 2001, 31, 2002. And then there is a lot more data in between. And then 21, 22, and so on. Is this event type or regular? Okay, I will tell you. So this is the regular interval. This is nothing. This is the only difference. We call this type of data wide form time series data. When you see the columns, sorry, the date time in the form of columns. This is regular because you can see here, it started from 2000, right? And going on here, if you look at the tail of the data, it is coming 21, then 22, right? So it's a regular interval. This is a regular interval. This is a wide form type time series data set. You don't need to worry about too much right now because we are going to discuss this in a detail in upcoming slides. Okay. Now we will talk about how to prepare the time series in the Python. If you got a time series data, how would you start preparing your data set? First, you need to convert the date and times to a single column if required. Okay. Sometime maybe you have seen your data set coming up with the time series, but you will see there is a one column for year, one column for a date, one column for timestamp like this. If it is required, you can combine those columns into a single according to your requirement and then convert the date time column, most likely a string, to a date time data type. Because most of the time, like the by default, your date time column come up with the string data type. As we know, we need to convert it into a date time data type. We cannot directly embed into the machine in the form of this string. So you need to convert it into the date time data type. Now set the date time column as a series data from frame index. Why you need to set it always the date time column as an index? To fasten your process. So if you want to tomorrow, you want to sort or you want to take out data from a specific date, so it will be easy for you. So it is like one of the most important step. You will set the date time column as a series data frame index. Resample the time series to the desired correct frequency using the desired correct aggregation method. So what is a resampling? We will talk about it in detail in upcoming slide, but here I will give you the definition. Resampling means you will resample the data based on the requirement. Maybe if we go back onto this slide, the previous one, look at this. Here the data is coming year wise. So here the frequency is set into year. Frequency means how your trend is showing based on the time series. Here it is showing based on annual system, like annually. Maybe you are not interested, you want to see it monthly, quarterly, or some other way. That is, in that case, when you convert its year frequency to quarterly or maybe month wise, that is called resampling. So this means you are changing the frequency of the data occurring into other type of the frequency. This is called resampling. How you do that, we will discuss it in upcoming slide. Impute null values. If required, you need to impute the null values. So impute the null values in time series is a different way, which we will discuss today. Any questions about these steps? Any confusion? We have talked about the definition of the time series. We have talked about the types of time series. We have talked about the preparation steps for time series data set. Okay, take your time. If something come up, please feel free to ask. No. First, we will talk about the convert the date and times to a single column if needed. It is not required every time. It is according to your requirement. Okay. So now look at this. So this is the wide form versus long form. Here, wide form time series data as a time interval as a separate column. As I have shown you in one of the question, this is a regular time interval, but your date and time column is coming in a different columns instead of one column as you used to see row wise. This makes sense in a terms of data management. This is good if you want to see like in which year, how much, like the what is the status of this state name, state, right? And this year. So this is easy to see like this way. But if we talk about like, if we want to do the analysis and we want to look at the trends, then it's difficult for us. So this format is not compatible for our need. And we need to transform this wide form time series data set into long form data set. How would you do that? Converting wide form to long form, we use the pandas inbuilt method that is called MELT. This is very popular method which we use to convert your wide form time series data into long form. How would you do that? First of all, if you look at this data set, we will separate the ID columns. So which are the ID columns? This is your region ID, size bank, region name, region type, state name, state, metro, and country name. Right? This is what we are looking for based on yearly, the values of these one. Right? In which region, what is the size rank of that region, region name, type, state name, state, metro, and country name. What is the value of these in each year, right? So what we will do, we will separate this. We will create a list of ID underscore calls is equals to put all these names in the form of list. And then we will declare one variable melted is equals to pd.melt. We will say this is your whole data frame which you have loaded using CSV. ID underscore varies. This is inbuilt name. You can't change it. This is a parameter of melt. Is equals to ID underscore calls. What does it contain? Which we are separating from over time, like the time column. These are those columns. We will name it ID calls. Value name. This is a value name is also inbuilt. This is you can give any name. It's your choice. According to your data, according to your requirement. Here we are just giving the typical home value because we are talking about here home values. Variable name, you can give month, right? This is again depend upon your requirement. You want to see it like yearly, monthly, daily, like that. Here we are talking about monthly. What is the typical home value month-wise in each state? So then when you apply this, look at the result. Now this is changed into long form. These are the old ID columns. Nothing is changed here. This is same as it was. The only change is here. Now your different columns is converted into two columns. Now you can see the row-wise data, right? Now it will be repetitive because, not repetitive, it will come in the row-wise. So it will create a more rows here. If we go back here, there may be a less number of rows because it was coming the column wise. But now it will increase the number of rows here, decrease the number of columns, right? Let's suppose if the year was, we were looking at the year from 2000 to 2023. So you can think about it, how many columns were there. But when you applied the melt here, now it converted into 2 column only, but it will increase the number of rows. Any questions about it? How we are changing the wide form time series data set into long form? Okay, take your time. Convert the datetime column to pandas datetime data type. Look at this. So PD2 dot 2 underscore datetime, again inbuilt method to convert your data type of the datetime column into datetime. This is the easiest way. Okay. It is very flexible. It can accept many data types. Either your datetime column is coming in the form of string, it will convert. Either it's coming in the form of list, it is also acceptable. Python datetime objects, it is also acceptable. Now look at this right side, how many parameters it has. It has pandas dot 2 underscore datetime arguments error. So error are again here 3 type. Now, here the errors are ignore, raise and course. So by default it is a raise. So what the raise will do? Then invalid parsing will raise an exception. If there is an invalid parsing, like if the data type of your datetime is not out of these 3 types, then only it will raise exception. It does not support like that. Course, this then invalid parsing will be set as a no time. If this is if you set this, then it will tell you this is a no time type. So it will not convert. And then ignore. If you set this, then invalid parsing will return the input. It will do nothing. It will just not change anything. So this is the 3 type of the errors which you can set and try and see the result if you want to test it. And then you have a here infer datetime format is equals to false. This is also the very important parameter. How it works, I will show you in the upcoming slide and the code along as well. Here you can set the year first, from which year you want to convert the data. Day first you can set as well. So there are many parameters which you can use. So this method is very important, very useful. Now we will talk about here time series format codes. So we can specify the format of our datetime values to speed it up. As I have shown you, here is a format type as well, this one. You can also set it. How? It will fasten your process to fix the bad interpretation of the datetime values. If you give, when you are converting your datetime column into the datetime from string, from list, from Python datetime object to underscore datetime, if you are mentioning the format, it will be fasten your process, because your method do not need to convert it itself. So it know in which format I need to convert, then it will be very fasten your process. So Python string format time, this is a cheat sheet of that one. Look at this. If this is the person's A, this is a small one. So this is for the weekday as a local abbreviated name. If you give the format, if you want to see the name of the day with the 3 words, this abbreviation form, then you can use this code, person's A. And if you want to look the full name, you are looking like you want to print the date Sunday, your date and then year. You want to print the full name of the day, then you can use person's big A. And here this is a weekday. Weekday means number of the day, not the name. Okay. And then if you want to present the day of the month, as a zero padded decimal like 0802. If you are printing the 10, 11 or 12, then it will not add the 0. Okay, because this is already 2 digits over there. And here, this is for the month, same case. If you look at it clearly, when you want to print the abbreviated three words, or either it's a day, either it's a month, either it's a year, then you need to use the smaller here. Otherwise, the big one, alphabet. So this is the cheat sheet of this one. You can try. Now, if you look at this example here, this is a format. You need to set the format in the double quotes. So in this, the small m means we are just printing the month of the year. This is person's day, as we have seen here. This will print the number of the month. Person's big Y, for what it is using? Year without century as a zero padded decimal number, right? Not this one. This is the big one, sorry. It will print the whole number of the year. Now today underscore date time to string format time format. So what it will do? This is my date time column. Converting into, we are formatting after changing into date time into this format. Now this outputs, this is your date. Sorry, this is your month. This is your date. This is year. This is hour. This is minute. This is 24-hour clock. Okay. If you are using the big person's H, colon person's M. Okay. So this is depend you want to, which type of format you want to do according to your requirement. Because there are plenty of options you have. It totally depends upon your requirement. Any questions about the time series format codes? If you try this is very interesting. If you try to like format the date into different format, it's very useful. Because this is the most widely used thing. Set the date time column as a series data frame index. How you are going to set it as an index? So what was the first step when you have a date time column? What you will do first time? Preparation?
Change to a single column.
Yes. Change the column into date time. Then we will change into, we are setting the frequency. Then we are just changing the format if required. Now what we are doing? We are setting the date time index, right? After changing it. So a column of date time values can be set as index for data frame or series to create date time index. Why we do it? To fasten our process again. If you want to retrieve from a big data from a specific year, so it will be very fast. You only need to write the query in the pandas, it will give you the result. That's why we do it. Now look at this. So this is your setting the date time index. This is your data set of your S&P stock price. We will use dot set underscore index date time. This is a column name, this one. So now it will set your column this as a index. We are printing it, that's why it's showing here, right? Generally, this is your normal data. If you do this, don't print it, it will not show by default here, right? Because it's just an index. So now look at this, it is coming here. If you want to look at the index. Here, DEF underscore TS dot index. This is showing your index value and its data type is changed time 64 nanosecond. 64 means 64-bit integer, your date time column is converted. Okay. And the column name date time, length is this. Here, the frequency is none still. Okay. Because we did not set any frequency yet. Okay. Any questions about date time index? Alright. Okay. Now we will talk about date time index frequency. Okay. As I have mentioned earlier, what is frequency? Frequency means if you give the frequency to your this column, it will help your pandas when you are doing some like the transformation, or maybe you are printing something, visualizing it, you want to access the data, it will help you to show the trends. If you set it, the interval between measurements determines the frequency, right? On what basis you want to show the trend? You want to show between the months, between the years, between quarterly, daily, minute, hourly. This is frequency. Okay. By default, a daytime index does not assume a specific frequency. It will not assume itself. Okay. Even if the data matches a frequency, here you can see, we can, here we can see the data is a regular interval, right? It is showing the each year data on monthly as well, date wise, right? There is some trend we can see clearly, but still it will not show. It will not set it default. To set the frequency of a daytime index, we must use the resample methods in pandas. Okay, so what we will do, we are going to see how you can convert the frequency using resample method in pandas. Okay, here we go. Now here, to resample a time series, right? In this is your time series dot resample. This is inbuilt method in the pandas. What it will do? It will take here frequency code. What will be the frequency code? Look at here, right? In this, you will pass either month, year, your date, your quarterly, whatever you want. Okay. And then dot aggregation method. Because if you don't mention this aggregation method, it will not show you anything, because your frequency is done based on some aggregation method. You have a lot of values based on like on a daily basis of each month of each year. You have a lot of data, right? Now you want to see it on a month basis, right? You need to do some aggregation based on the given values. Then it will show you, because it will take the aggregation of whole month of that specific month. Then it will throw the value. Then it will show you the trend. That's why it's required here. What is the difference? We will see it in code along as well. Where frequency code in pandas, frequency code is this. Here is the table of different frequency table. If you go here, this is the one. This is also the I have pasted in the slide. So if you want to do the frequency on any business day, weekday, this is your weekly, 1 week optionally anchored on a day of the week, right? And if you want to see the week of the month, specific week of the month, month end, month beginning, you have a lot of options here. Okay, and this is year end, by year end. You can try and see the difference using different frequency. Okay, and now we will go back to this sheet. This is also us to change the frequency of a time series to larger to smaller one. How? If it is showing the yearly trend by default, you can change into month, you can change into quarter. First, you can change into quarterly. If you want to see on daily basis, you can change into daily, then hourly. So it depends upon your requirement, what you want to see, where you want to see the trend. Any questions about it?
So if the data is like only in like month form and you change it to like hourly or daily, like is it gonna do that?
if you with the timestamp, right? And then you can calculate it. If there is a nothing given in that, then it is not possible to do that already, because we need something to calculate it, right? In that case, you also need to like separate the column as well in that case. Aggregation method is a valid aggregation method. You can use mean, median, count. Okay, last, first, right, as frequency. So these are the aggregation method you can use when you are doing this, right? Any questions about it? All right. Now we will talk about the most important topic. This is like very important in time series, although everything is important, but if you have a null values in time series, how you are going to handle? Okay. Imputation method for time series in this. Resampling will often create a missing values, right? Because if your data set is given yearly, you are going to convert it into monthly, when it will use aggregation method corresponding to some where it will create the missing values, right? In this, how if sometime you already have the missing value in the raw data, and this is the most common asked question in the interviews as well. How you are going to handle the missing value in time series? What is the best way? They may give you the like the scenario. This is how you are going to handle it now. In this forward fill, we have a different ways. Now look at this graph. This is the resample data with the null values. Here, the year coming January 2013, right? So it's a different days are coming in this. Here, wind speed we are showing, missing value is this. We can't see anything here about the wind speed, right? So how you are going to handle it? Like ts.fill method is equal to forward fill. What the forward fill do? Forward will pick up the first value from here in the like the from the forward in this from the start, and then it will start filling the next value till there is a missing value. So you can see in the next graph here, this is filled here, then on the 5th day, 6th day, and then this is your 7th day, right? So the value is here, it is filling here, here, and then going up. Okay, this is called forward filling. We use these methods for time series only. We are not using here the mean, median, mode method, which you have done for the other type of data sets. But when we are talking about missing value in the time series, these are the methods you are going to use. And then here is a backward fill. In backward fill, it will start filling the values from backward, from here, not from the start. Okay, it will start from here. And then it will fill like this way and fill till the value is missing. Okay. And now the third method is interpolate. Interpolate uses many methods. By default, it's a linear method. By default, if you are not mentioning anything. In this, what it will do? It will take the first missing value from where it starts and the end one. Okay. And then it will fill the missing value. Okay. So this is the difference between forward fill, backward fill, and interpolate. Okay. And then there is a fill with 0. Fill is equals to 0. This is depend upon the case. Okay. All which method you are going to apply in which scenario, it depends upon your requirement and the business problem. Like fill the method, if we talk here, the one example, if we are talking about the mileage of the car, right? On the basis of daily basis, maybe someday we did not drive the car, right? So at that time, we don't have any value to fill, right? In that case, you can fill with the 0. It is not going to harm your data, right? And when we are talking about the interpolate, in this, what we need to do? In this, like if I give you one example of weather data, right? If you have a weather data of 1 year or maybe 3 months, there are some missing values between in a 1 week, 2 or 3 days, and then in the next month, 1 or 2, 3 days. In that case, we cannot say if the temperature was 3 days ago, the 23 degree, it is also going to be after the 4 days, 23 degree, right? So it's a good idea to use the interpolate there. What is the temperature was on the 4th day and what was the temperature on 8th day, and then take the interpolate of that and fill those missing value. So these are the examples how we can use it, right? So you will learn it by experience as well. You can try it. Most of the time we use interpolate in many cases. So this is the most good way to fill the missing value. Okay. Any questions about the imputation method for time series? All right. If something come up in your mind later on, please feel free to ask. Okay, so it's a time to code along. So I have opened in my local environment. Okay, so today we are going to do the code along about the preparation of the time series data. In this, what you will learn, create datetime indices, resample at various frequencies, impute null values for time series, and convert wide form data to long form. First of all, we will import the libraries, that is our default libraries, pandas, matplot, pyplot. This is matplotlib.dates as mdates, new library, because we are talking about here the time series. And then this is the matplotlib.ticker as mticks. This is the tickers means, like on the graph, x-axis, y-axis, the name at each ticker, the comma. And then missing value, we use this for to check the missing value. This is your Seaborn, NumPy. This is just the display format. Okay. And now import datetime as DT. Okay. This is our datetime library. We will create an instance of this as a DT. And then now if you get the today's date only in Python environment, how would you do that? We will simply declare one variable today date equals to dt.date.day. So what is dt? dt is an instance of this library. Okay. And date is the inbuilt method to get a date. Okay. And if you want to take the date of today, I will say dot today. This is again the inbuilt method. Okay. And then it will print the date. Now look at this. This is date time dot date, and this is showing your year, month, and date. Okay. And now if I am not print the statement here, so it is printing the date like this way, right? But if we want to look at it very user friendly, what we will do, you can use the print function, because print function will automatically parse the other things which is not required. It will simply give you the result very user friendly like this. Okay. So this is the way how you will get the date. Okay. Now get the today's date and time from Python's datetime module. Okay. Here we were talking about simple using date method. Now, if you want to get the date of today, including your current time of today's. Okay, how would you do that? Instead of using only the date method, you will use the date time method. Okay, in this, what you will, it will show, look at this: year, month, date, hours, minutes, seconds, nanoseconds. Okay, it is showing you the timestamp as well. But this is very the normal form. If you look at like this way, if we are non-technical, we never understand what it is showing. We can like assume up to this, but we don't know what is this, right? To make it user friendly, you again use this 24-hour clock, and this is showing date, and this is your timestamp. Okay, this is how you can use date method. And if you want to print the time including your today's date, you can use the date time. Any questions about it? All right. So these are the different date time formats. This is again, I will say, very useful. Try as much as like you think it may be required. This is very important process. Generally in real time, we stuck at this point when we are working on the time series data. Most of the time, format of the date time, just the pain for us sometime to convert it into correct format. Okay, so this is date time objects have a string format time using this method as we have like discussed in the slide as well. Now this is again the format small a weekday as a local abbreviated name. If you want to print the day name like this using abbreviation, this is full name if you use a big one. And this is weekday. What is the day of the week? Monday is the first, Sunday is the 0, 6th is your Saturday, like this. Day of the month, if you want to print with the 2 digits, in that case. Okay, and then year, month, this is your local full name. If you want to print the full name of the month, you can use this one, big B, and so on. So you have a lot of options you can try to print. It will help you to understand the difference. Okay, now if you want to print this like the sheet, how you can load it, this is the just optional thing which I want to tell you. Here we go. If we run it, okay, let me run this. So this is the one which is printing like this way. Okay, and you can simply load from this reference Python frequency code CSV index call is equals to 0. So you can print it in your notebook as well if you want. And now, if you print it in a markdown, it will look like this. This way. Okay. And if you like say into the simple like copy and you can create a new markdown here and just paste it. That's it. Okay. So it will become like this. Okay. So this is one way. Now today's date time we have already seen. Now, if you want to print the format in the form of month, day, year, 24 over time, how would you do that? Now what we are doing, we are looking at the different format. If you have a date and time, how would you do that? I will simply say, I will declare the variable month, day, year, 24 over time format. This is your choice. You can give any name, but always try to keep the variable name which resembles your work. Because in future, if you again look at your notebook, quickly you can grab it, what I was doing at that time. So this is your month, percent D. Look at this, take care of this slash. Okay, sometimes you also need to use a dash. slash, dash, again depend upon your requirement. And this is year, this is timestamp. Okay, what we will do today, underscore datetime dot string format type, we will pass this format inside this method like this. What is this today date and time? We have created here, right? From the beginning here. This one. We are going to convert it into specific format now, whatever we want, using string format type. So this is your, if I say this thing, you can see the same format is coming now, right? It's using slash, month, date, year, hour, minute, second, right? So by default, your this T is showing hour, minute, and second, not nanosecond, because that is not required. Okay. So this is the correct format, which is the most user friendly, I will say. Okay. And now, if you want to show AM, PM with it, is it AM or PM? Then you can add here, we will change it month, date, year. This is your again hour, minute, second, and AM, PM. You are going to use a small person's P. This is for your time, like is it morning, is it afternoon, or whatever. So it will show AM, PM as well. Again, you need to pass inside the, as an argument, inside the str format type, and it will show you this one. Any questions still so far? How you are getting the date? How you can make the specific format using string format type method? All right. If something come up in your mind, please feel free to ask. Now, if you check this type, what is the type of this variable now? Earlier, it was coming in the type of date timestamp, right? Now, if you check it, it is converted into string now because we have changed its format type, right? It's showing string now. Now, if you want to convert your string data type now into datetime, as we have discussed in the slide, you need to use pandas method to underscore datetime, right? So when you use it, it convert your type of this variable into timestamp instead of string, right? So this is the way how your datetime works. Okay, you need to like take care of at this step when you are changing the format of the datetime variable. Then you need to convert it into datetime format again, right? If you directly fed into the machine, it will throw an error. Okay, so this is very important thing. Now we will use the pandas datetime object functions whenever possible, as they save us a lot of time. Okay. Now comparing Python versus pandas datetime object. As we have seen, Python datetime is this display versus printing. So if you print and display the Python date type, look at this. First, it print the type, this one, class, datetime. This is the result of this. Okay. And then we are using display method to display it. How it look like? It look like datetime, this one again. So this is your year, month, date, hour, minute, second, nanosecond again. Okay. And if I say print today date time, then it is printing like this way. This is the, we are talking about how you can print in the Python in a different way, using display, using print, if you are printing the type of the data in Python. Now pandas timestamp. We will talk about it now, pandas. How it printed, look at this. Class, pandas, libraries, your time second libraries, timestamp. See the difference? Date time, it is coming along with the timestamp. Okay, and then timestamp. Look at this. In timestamp, this is more user friendly, right? It is not showing any nanosecond here. Now this is a simple print, right? I think you can use anyone, but more good to use is pandas, right? Here you need to format it again. Here you don't need to do anything, right? So this is the like a comparison we are showing here, difference between if you are using the Python methods and if you are using the pandas datetime object methods. Any questions about it? Okay. Now we will working with the data with the regular intervals. We will consider here the data set S&P, stock price, and we will, it's here. Now look at the info. So you have how many columns you have in this? 10, right? It's a coming up with the date column, right? Now what is the first step to do to, if you have come up with this data set, as we have discussed in the slide, what will be the first step to do with this data set? Anyone?
Combining the date and time into one column.
Yes. Here we will combine the date and time into one column, right? We can give the space in between here, right? Now look at this. This become your now one more column. Here we look at this. Here I have declared the double percents of time to look at the result, how much time it will take to concatenate the both columns. Okay. So what we will do, we will create a new column, date and time is equal to pd dot to date and time with this value, right? And see the result. If I click on this, it will take few seconds to combine these both two columns, your date and time. We will see how much time it will take. See, CPU time 20.9 second and 31.8 second wall time. So it takes too many seconds, right? And now we can speed up the conversion by specifying the correct format and time setting, right? How would you do that? As I have mentioned in the slides, inference date time format is equals to false. This is very, very useful parameter. It will help you to do that. Here, what we will do, first we will set the format, okay? And then we will convert it into the format of the date time using string format time. This is the one, right? Now here we will come again. This is the same column, date and time. We will concatenate both date and time. Format is equals to format. This is a format which we want to after combining this, because now I'm telling the pandas I want this format. So this way and I will say inference date time format is equals to false. So this means now pandas, this method to underscore date time don't need to go to the each like the value of the date and time in your data set and check the format. It will ignore that if we are using the false. We are already setting the format, so it will fasten your process. Okay, it will not interfere in the date time format type. Okay, so what if you run this, see the difference here. Oops. Now see the difference. too much reduced, right? CPU time 625 millisecond, and this is only 1.07, right? And what was this? 20.9 earlier. So I would recommend when you have a big data, always use this. It will help you, okay, to process the data. Any questions about it? All right. Now look at this. We will check the date time format now. This is coming into date time 64 nanosecond, which we want, right? Now, setting the date and time index. This was the second step in your preparation of time series data. We have already formatted what is required, and then we will set the index. So our data set will process first. So now we will use set index date and time. Look at this result. Okay. So this will become the index of your data set now. Okay. And here you can see the list of array of your index. Here again, the frequency is none. Okay. Now only we will keep the closing ask bid, right? Ask and bid column, because we are not interested any other one. I'm interested in this ask and close one. Now what we will do, I will separate it. I will use a close columns is equals to, we are using the lambda function, sorry, list comprehension function here on this data set which we have prepared after setting the index. If close in C, okay, so it will give you this result. Bid close, ask close, on which, at which date and time. Okay, and now if you want, you can check the index here. We can check the index if it's coming with the date and time, right? Its data type is date and time. Now we will visualize our time series data frame. We have applied all required steps first to make it like in a proper form of date time format. Now we will visualize it. In this, we are using axis equals to df dot plot. Now look at this result, right? This is the recommendation in the time series data set is this. In case of visualization, try to use the wider figure because it will show you the clear trend over the time, right? It's a smaller figure, right? We can see the trend here as well, but this is not in the say the wider form, clear form, right? This is the default one. How you can change? Changing the default figure size, you can use the RC params. First, not changing that, RC param will help you to tell you the default size of your figure or other things like what is the tick size, what is the size of your figure, and so on. If we run this, look at this result. You can see the default sizes, axis sizes, format sizes, font sizes, title, X margin, Y margin, everything is here. Okay. If you want to check the default size of the figure, you can use this like the here RC param figure dot figure size. So if we look at these, this is 6.4 inches wide, 4.8 inches tall, right? So this is the size, current size of your this visualization. So if you want to change it, you will say you can override any like the parameter of RC param. Okay, this is coming in the dictionary form. Plot dot RC params figure dot figure size is equals to 12, 5, right? So it will take your 12 columns like a wider, 5 will be tall, right? Now look at the result. See the difference, right? It is showing more clear here. Now you can see it is showing the date and time over the year, right? And orange line belongs to your bid closing and blue line belongs to your ask close, right? So this is a showing trend, right? And now what else we can do in this? We can using a tick, date, time formatters and locators. What we in this, if you want to add a minor X tick every 3 months, as we have discussed, we can change year to months, right? How would you do that? Now create a year locator first. In this, we will say location, major, year is equals to amdates. Amdates is an inbuilt library which we have declared above. Dot year locator. This is inbuilt method. Create a year formatter using 4-digit years. If you remember when we were looking at the cheat sheet of this, if you use the big Y percent Y, it will take the 4 digit. If you take the small y, it will take only 2 digit, right? So this is format major year amdates date format percent Y. Now location minor. This is we are preparing for the major tick yearly. Now we will create a month locator because we want to show the month wise on between the year. So now location minor 3 months month locator. This is inbuilt method. Okay. By month. By month means I am passing one argument. This is also inbuilt. You can't change it. By month means I am setting a list of the months every 4 years, right? This is, sorry, every 3 years, sorry. First month, January, then every 3 years, 4th, 7th, 10th, right? January, April, and so on. And then format, we will date format with the percents B because I want to show only the name of 3 abbreviated of the month name, January like JAN. So I will use a smaller one B. Okay. If you say big B, it will show the full name. Now we will plot it. Create our plot and save this. In this axis df underscore ts dot plot. Axis set y label is equals to stock value. Title is your this. This is just for setting the title and other values. And then set x-axis major locator format. First we will set the major locator. Axis x-axis dot set major locator. Locator major year. And then formatter major year, which we have set here. These 2 parameters. Okay. So we will set it here and then the minor one. Now look at the result. This is on the x-axis. Now it is showing you the every 3 months between the year. 2018, 2019, every 3 years. This is what you can do. You are formatting the X ticks. It is showing you the trend now based on every 3 months annually. Any questions about it? Can anybody tell me where it is showing the ask close and bid close higher on in which month? Anyone? If we talk about ask close, in which year and which month it is showing the highest value? This is the stock value.
Looks like December or the end of the year.
December here. Okay. And what about the early January 2022? Yes, you're correct. Okay, great. And now what we will do? Now create over plot and you can save the axis as well. Okay. So in this, what we will do? This is what we have prepared. Your the DFTS plot. We will set this labels. This is locator format for minor and major. And now we will add some grid lines. It will make more sense, right? And it will look good as well. Axis grid, on which you want to show it? Major. Major means we are talking about year. Okay. Axis equals to X, color is equals to K, LS is equals to this column. So it will print this dotted line. That's why it is coming this format. You can change it, whatever is spotted by this. Okay. And this is the width of the line. You can increase it. And then rotate the major ticks here using auto format X state. How would you do that? Auto format X state means rotation. Rotation means how you want to show this line. This is we want to rotate 90 degree and in the center. Now look at this result. So this is showing the major tick at a 90 degree angle in the center. Okay. So this is more clear now, showing the year trend of your bid closing of the or ask closing of the stock value. Okay. So these are the important things, how you can make it more visualize using different format of the time series. Okay. This is, we are just building the functions, right? Together, everything, because here we were doing it separately. If you want, you can make a custom function here, X date. We are just calling it here and then printing it here like this. Okay. So this is the same code. Only the difference, we are making the custom function here and passing the value here, axis. Okay. Here we are calling. So this is your choice. You want to make a function or not. Okay. Now we will talk about the slicing with the date time index. Maybe you are not interested to show whole data time trends. Maybe you are interested only in a 1 or 2 years. You want to see, you want to slice out few specific month, date, right? This is your choice. Now we will see the here data time, any dates from 2022. Okay. So we are fetching the data only for the 2022 year. This is the data from this. And then if I say here I'm passing in this format, it is giving me the result. If you say January 2022, then it will only give you the January data. You can see here, this is the first month only, right? Here if I say 2022, it is showing me the all months of the 2022. But if you want to do the specific one, you can do that as well by specifying this only. But if you say here only these, then it will throw error because it will get confused of which year I need to show the January data because it has many years. You need to specify here 2022. This is required. Okay. So this
What
is the
if
one
you put in just 0, 1?
here. Let's try. Let me run from here. You can do that. Okay. So this is just a different format you can try. And then here is the list. If you want to see for the specific months, right, of the year, then as we used to do in the list, the slicing, right? Start range, end range. You can same thing use it. So this is from the 1st January to your 16th of March. Okay. This is the data for this one on. And then you can also use this thing, right? You can also try the other way, right? So these are the way how you can slice out the data from the time series for the specific one. If you want to see it. Now in this, if you like notice the earliest date of this one, the 2020-01-03. So let's suppose if you want to take out the date of ask close only from the 3rd of March, right? Now this. Now we cannot slice out more than one non-continuous. Okay. In this, look at this. If I say dates to keep like this way, here what I was doing, I am telling my like the method, I need a 3rd of March ask close price, right? If I say I need 1st of March and 5th of March, I am passing a multiple values, right? Then it will throw the error because it will get confused in this way, which value I need to give, right? Of which month, because we are not mentioning, we are just telling it the dates. Okay, so it will throw you the error, this one, none of the index in this. Okay, so this is, you need to carefully take out the value when you want the specific value of a specific column. Okay, because you have a many values like corresponding to that column. And now if you want to fetch using the multiple values, multiple months, right? Then instead of passing this way, you need to do it using loop. Then it will help. Okay. Now look at this. Sliced pd.concat you can do. And then this is the your data set dot location I for I in dates to keep. What is dates to keep? We have set it here. Okay, so this is the one, and then you will slice it. So we are running the loop onto the 2 different dates. You can put as many as now in the loop if you want. Okay, it will show you the data of that specific date, 3rd of January to 5th of January. Okay, so this is just taking out the specific date from the January month. Now we will see to print it, to visualize it, how we are just printing the 2020 ask close like this. So this is printing only the ask close price of the stock value based on the 2020 year here. So this is showing that trend. And now using time deltas, what you can do? In this, you can slice out the specific, like the dates from the from the given month of the year. Well, how would you do that? If you want to slice to start 4 days before and end 4 days after, okay, on the specific, how would you, like here, I will pick up the IDX minimum price of this ask close price, minimum price. If we see here, it seems to be minimum price, right? Between this. So now in this, we will say stock TS IDX minimum. At what location index? It will give you the here, the specific date and time. This, let me. Now what you can do, the advantage of this thing is that if you are fetching the IDX minimum value, you can add the 4 days into it directly because we are getting the location. Location means on which day. So in the current day, you can add the 4 days. You can subtract the days, whatever you want to take an action on the that data, that specific like the thing. So now making a time delta with the time delta, how would you do that? Delta days is equals to PD dot to time delta. We are converting over delta days into time delta 4 days. Now look at this timestamp, time delta. It is showing the number of days with the timestamp, right? 00 format. So now what we will do, we will subtract over delta to get started. What was the minimum price? I want to slice out the start 4 days before the minimum price and then after the minimum price, right? So we will first subtract it from the minimum price. This is the days. This is not value. Okay. And on which day the minimum ask price was there. Okay. Minus delta days, 4 days. So we will do that. Here it is showing this 2023-19. Here it was a 2023-23. Okay. So it subtracted the 4 days from the your this minimum price days. And then we will check the end one by doing the plus delta days. Okay. It is adding into 23, it becomes 27. Does it make sense so far? And now it's a time to plot it. See, we will say stock TS plot. This is just title we are setting. Vertical line. This is for start. So we can see from where the minimum price before, like from the minimum price where before the 4 days start. Okay. So you can use the dash, whatever other format is supported, you can give it here, dot, dash, or other thing. Color is green and label is start date. Same with the end date. Okay. This is the one, color is red, label and date. You can see this. See, this is showing, this is the minimum price before starting from the start date and ending after 4 days. Okay. So this is a slice. We are slicing the specific days result of the ask close minimum stock value of the date at that particular time. So this is how you can plot and slice out using pandas function, delta function. Okay. So how you will do that? First, you will get the date and timestamp, and then you will add the delta days and subtract the delta days using PD.to delta days function, and then you can plot it. Now, slicing out the time period, and you can just save it in this format, start to end, because you know now, right? Location, and this is your result. If you want, you can simply print it. This is your that slice, the one which we are printing it here. And see 2023 to 20, here, it's going up to 27 or further. Okay, so this is the one. And then you can make it a style, right? Because there is a note, like this is no value here. This is the only values showing here, right? So what you will do, you can connect it using dash here, right? Because by default here, it is not showing any value here, right? It is just connecting. So you can connect it, you can change the style of connection here. Okay. And then if you plot it using the dot and then alpha 0.1 between the your 21 to 23, the minimum price time, it will show like this. Okay. Can anybody tell me why it is showing the null values in between? Yes, yeah, we can. Yes, we can remove that. Because if it's a weekend, there is a no, like the value we have with us. So there are no values because maybe it's a weekend, right? So what day of the week were the days missing data? When it was a weekend. So if you want, you can check it like this. You can check the missing value, right? I need to run here. You will check there is a no missing value. If you check the day name, it's a Saturday. Saturday and Sunday is a weekend, so there is a no value we have for this. Okay. So this is a index value of that. If you want to see the like the index of this, and then if you want to convert it into minutes, Daniel, like it was your question, how we can convert it if it was a like day to like the minutes. So this is how we can resample the into minutes as frequency. Okay. So this is the index, right? And then you can resample it into minute. It will convert it into this, and then you can see the results based on the minute. You can see here the frequency is into this time. Okay. And there is again missing value because we have resampled the data. Okay. It will show you the your missing value because it will create some values to the days where there was a no value. And then if you plot, it will look like this. Okay. Now you can impute the missing value if you want. Okay. Here we are using the method here, mean. Okay. TS dot mean minimum value. Okay. And then it will just join this like this way. As we don't have any value, it doesn't make like too much if you want to show it like this, but more user friendly, then you can fill the missing value with the mean, right? And then this is the graph. Okay. Here you can also try with the backward fill. Okay. So how the backward fill work? In this, we will say axis TS minimum fill the method backward fill, and it will take this missing value from here and start filling to the previous missing value, the start missing value. Okay. And if you use a forward missing value, it will take the missing value from here and then go here. This is the forward one. Okay. And then if you want to use the interpolate method, this is the forward fill method. Okay. This is the interpolate one. So it will take the starting missing value from here and then these, then we'll start fill the missing value. Okay. So we will use these 3-4 methods to fill the missing value, not this one. Okay. This is we are just showing if you are taking the mean like this way, how it look like. These are our methods which we apply on the time series: backward filling, forward filling, interpolate, and sometime fill with the 0 missing value. Okay. Any questions still so far? Okay. So this is the wide form. I know we are running out of we are over time. Just give me more 5 minutes it will take. Working with the wide form time series data. As you have seen in the slides as well, we have a wide form time series data, right? The date and time coming in the different columns. So here we have a 3 rows, 3057 columns, right? We will change it into here. We are taking the cryptocurrency data set. We will take look at the VADs, right? As we have discussed, we will separate these three values here, cryptocurrency, symbol, and currency. Then we will use the pandas melt method. Pass the data set, ID values is equals to ID values, and this will become like this. Okay. Here it will take the value of this one automatically because we have only this one column to do that. Okay. And you can rename the variable and value if you want, but it will create a many missing value as well in this way. Okay. Now look at this long crypto. So in this is the crypto ID where's var name is equals to date. We will convert the variable name into date. Value name is equals to value. Now this is your long crypto data set from wide form time series data converted into long form using melt method. Here, now make the date column with the date time as we did in the previous one. We will convert the date into two date time, long crypto date. Look at the difference now. 9162 rows, 5 columns in the long format. In the wide format, it was a 3 rows, 3057 columns. Okay, so easy to access. This is only easy to see if we are looking at like as per a management, but this is the good form to practice. This is we need to do. Okay, for time series analysis, if it is the data set is coming in the wide form. And now this is, you can check the index again. The date type is converted into these and frequency is equals to none. Okay, now you can resample the data into day, per day. Okay, now per day you can see here the cryptocurrency is coming like this way. Look at this. This is the one column, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and whatever the third cryptocurrency type will come, and these are the value, right? Can anybody tell me what type of format is this? But if this is coming like this way, this is your normal, like the index form data frame, and this is showing you separately based on each year the Bitcoin, other cryptocurrency type, and the third type. This is called multi-index data frame. Multi-index. Okay, because first the Bitcoin will come. This is one of the index, 0, 1, and the third one. And then it is coming again the second column under these of each year. Okay, this is called multi-index. In this, we will group by now cryptocurrency. Okay, if we want to resample it, we are going to like group by 8, resample per day as frequency value. You need to give the value here, otherwise it will throw the error. Okay, here we will, I think I have already ran it. So here, if you don't pass these, if I cut it, okay, in case of multi-index, right? So it will show you like this way. Okay, but if you want to see the values here, this is the way. Okay, otherwise it will show you the same thing. Okay, why? Because we are working on the multi-index. First, it will group by cryptocurrency each, like the Bitcoin. Each year, this is the value. Ethereum, this year, this is the value. Okay, and you can check here the type of your data frame now. It's a series. Okay, and now this is the index. Here you can check the index. You can see it's showing multi-index, Bitcoin. This is the second type. Name is cryptocurrency. This is the name of your first index, type of crypto. And then date and then length. Okay. And now this is the plot. Here you can see it is showing the each crypto type currency based on each year the value, but here is the gap, right? Because here your cryptocurrency is changing. Okay, so these are the one. So now this is like how you are looking at this graph, right? But it is not making too much sense. So what we will do now, we will unstack the multi-index, right? We are only interested to see the each cryptocurrency based on the year, right? So we can unstack this series saying this unstack 0, this is the first index of your multi-index, and then we will put into this, and now look at this. So it will become cryptocurrency, here Bitcoin, here this one, and this cryptocurrency type, and now see the result. So it will plot your this unstacked into Bitcoin, your Dogecoin, and Ethereum type cryptocurrency. This is the orange line for Bitcoin, and this is the purple one for Ethereum. This is the Dogecoin. This is here. Okay, so this is showing you the clear trend, but until it was like the stack multi-index, here it was overlapping, right? It was not clearly seen here. So this is the way how you can unstack the multi-index, and now you can also resampling this, okay, like this. If you want to see the from the data 2021 to 2022 unstacked only the Bitcoin, you can plot it. Okay, it will show you here this one, and this is just resampling. Okay, these are we are using the different methods. I will repeat it in the next class, this portion, this one. We will continue in the next class from here. Okay, so I will end the class here. Any questions till so far?